Farmers make the world go round. Without them, we would all starve to death. But farming isn't a walk in the park, it's hard work. And here in South Africa, dairy farmers and Egyptian geese do not get along. Egyptian geese are a plague on properties like this. Their numbers have increased far beyond what is natural, and they cause immense damage not only to grazing land, but also to other bird species. On this property, various attempts have been made to reduce their population, including traps, wing shooting, and other forms of hunting. But we found high-velocity, small-caliber centerfire rifles like this Ticker 22-250 to be the most effective, as they allow us to strike from a distance. We've got plans to make a dent in their numbers today, and we've got a few tricks up our sleeves. Follow along and enjoy the carnage.
Well, it's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning and we have hit the road in search of some Egyptian geese with the trusty old Ticker T3 22-250. There's no wind right now. The wind is expected to pick up a bit later, so we're going to do what we can as early as possible and hope for the best. I'm going to switch the rangefinder to last priority mode because it's hitting the fence. So last priority will ignore the fence. 225.6 mils.
It's always a good feeling to get a few birds down nice and early, but we know it will just get harder throughout the day as they wise up. So we decide to use a little bit of trickery to our advantage and prepare to leave the decoys out on this field where they seem to like to congregate.
Right, well, 2 geese to start things off on this field. And I think we've made the decision that this is a good spot to put the decoys. So we've taken out the plastic decoys, we've put them out here, and hopefully that will attract more geese later on in the day. Geese are creatures that trust other geese. They're generally quite cautious, especially if they've been shot at, of vehicles driving past, and especially if the vehicles stop, they fly off. But if there's decoys or dead geese down, often it just gives them the confidence to just sit a few seconds longer, and that's what it takes, is a few seconds longer to get set up and pull off a shot. But yeah, good start. Hopefully it's a sign for things to come.
While we wait for the geese to return to the decoys, we decide to make our way down towards a dam where they tend to like to hang out, and we were not expecting the massacre that was about to unfold. I'm joined again today by my friend Dan with a 6.5 Creedmoor, and we'll be tag teaming throughout the day. 6.5 Creedmoor may seem like overkill for a goose, but there's no such thing as overkill when doing pest control, and if you do the math, each bird costs more in damages than the bullet used to shoot it.
I don't know if you want to take a few shots here.
I'll take that one, that's just the left of it.
There's still quite a few, I think, on the dam.
Yes, I'm surprised they're still sitting.
There's still 3 or 4 on the dam.
Yeah.
There we go.
Shooting geese on the water can be tricky, firstly because you often have to shoot them on the move, but secondly because half the kill zone is underwater. I try to aim just above the waterline. First prize is to hit them in the vitals, but if you're lucky you can sometimes bounce a bullet off the water and into the body.
There's another one here, eh?
Where?
Towards the right. Going in line with
Yeah.
the...
See it
where
there.
that dead wolf is by the fencing.
Yeah, I see it there.
There we go. Okay.
Smoked.
The little Lightning Fast 22-50 bullets don't tend to bounce off the water very well, but you'll see 2 shots in a row from Dan here that bounce perfectly. The slower but more robustly constructed 140 grain 6.5mm bullets tend to hold together a bit better.
So you bounced it off the water. You see that?
Yeah. He's also taken it.
Yeah.
There's one more, but he's in line with a bulldozer.
James the farmer also wants in on the action.
I think he's now there. You see below that long grass there. Okay.
Surprisingly, even after this absolute blitzkrieg, the rest of the bird species on the water don't seem to be even slightly disturbed. They know that they're safe. Waterfowl like ducks, coots, teals and shelducks tend to hang around on the water and keep to themselves, so there's no reason to shoot them. I've been criticized in the past for shooting geese on the water, being told it's not sporting, but this isn't sport, this is pest control. The goal is to remove one species with precision and leave the rest unharmed. With the goose numbers reduced, the rest of the ecosystem can thrive like it's supposed to. We saw this leguan climbing into the water. He will probably grab a goose carcass or 2 for lunch. The rest we'll retrieve later when the wind blows them to the shore.
So normally we come here to this dam, the open water, and we may be able to get 1 or 2 at most before they fly off. But I think we've hit the perfect season. Egyptian geese breed over December and January. So during December and January, you're not allowed to shoot them. It's now March. So there's some young geese that are inexperienced, let's call it that haven't been shot at often. They're still quite young, full size, but just young geese. And I think those are the ones that stayed behind when the rest flew off. And we've been able to drill a whole bunch here. So yeah, really fruitful time out here. And I think if we carry on like this, we're going to have a pretty decent bag for today. When you think of upgrading to a chassis like this, one of the main arguments is ergonomics. But one thing that people don't think about is magazines. There's nothing worse than having to lose momentum at an inopportune time because you only have like a 3-shot magazine and you run out of ammo. So I'm grateful that the XRS chassis has ARCS magazines. So I've got a 10 round magazine here that I'm going to use. No more momentum lost today. We've got a whole huge flock of geese, probably 500 meters away. And they're not going to let us get any closer. So let's get down to business. Range them here. 413 meters. 2 mils. That's a long shot, but there is basically no wind, so means no excuses either. That is a long shot. Oh, I must have just missed him.
This is the definition of a close shave. This bullet actually nicks this goose's back on the way past. A couple centimeters lower and it would have been lights out. We do our usual patrol route around the property, passing a few other bodies of water, but while the ducks are plentiful, the geese are nowhere to be found. I think it's time to check the field where we place the decoys. If there was ever a clear example of the damage that geese can cause, this is it. This is a lucerne field, and you can see just how the geese have flattened everything except for a strip next to the road where they're too scared to sit because they're within striking distance from the road. The further you get from the road, the safer they feel, and so they congregate along the back of this field and graze to their heart's content. And yes, geese do graze. They have teeth called tarmia that they use to rip up the grass. Unfortunately, at this point the wind suddenly picks up out of nowhere, and with the geese not wanting to allow us within about 500 meters, we decide to call it for the day. Taking shots and missing only makes them smarter. We do get one last opportunity from quite close on the way back to the farmhouse though, and I make it count.
Well guys, another awesome day at the dairy shooting geese. I think we managed to get like 12 or 13 down before the wind started picking up. Yeah, picked up a bit earlier than what we expected, and it's becoming a bit challenging now to get close enough, but another awesome day of shooting. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do consider subscribing and we'll keep these videos rolling. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.